So, what's the deal with the new John Pilate mystery? Okay, friends. Here's the deal on the new John Pilate book. I owe you an explanation. I know I've been seemingly dragging my feet on it, but it's not completely the case. Well, it's no, it's not. You know what? It's not. Here it is. Here, I'm going to lay it out for you. It's been a hard book for me to write, and I think for a couple of reasons. And as my editor says, he says you're tired of writing, so you made him, as in John Pilate, tiresome. He says it's a normal tendency. And I do think I have some Pilate fatigue. I got to admit that. I think I do. Um, Not because I don't love him and the John Pilate universe, but because I probably am overly worried and anxious that maybe he's run his course. And, you know, I get advice indirectly through this show all the time from other authors. And I mean, especially authors whose sole source of income is their writing. And they're pretty cutthroat about it. They hate to do it. They hate to kill their darlings, as Stephen King would say, in the sense that they may have a series that they're enjoying writing. They love the character. They want to keep it going, but it's just not selling. And again, especially if this is what puts food on the table, they cannot afford the luxury of sticking with a series that just isn't clicking with people who buy books. Okay, well, it's a little different with me. I do have a day job, and John Pilate is part of my, I don't like to call writing a side hustle. It's part of something I do, but it's not my sole source of income. Now, would I love it if writing was the way I made all my income? Well, I would love it if it was the only way I made income, if I made a really good living at it. Don't have to be like millions of dollars, but certainly need to, keep up a decent lifestyle, etc., put a kid through college, that kind of thing. Okay, so I kind of getting around the bend here on what I'm trying to explain. So again, I'm concerned he's run his course. Sales, they're okay. They pick up here and there. I did really well last holiday season without even an actual big time new book to come out or anything, but it did some different kinds of advertising, that sort of thing. And the interest is there. And when I do a giveaway, I give away a fair amount of books, ebooks on Amazon for the series. So it's been pretty exciting. And don't let me forget to tell you about something else about Amazon at the end of this. I'll tack that on here. But the second thing about this, besides me being overly worried and anxious that maybe the book has run its course, because that's what I was getting at here, sales are not blowing people away and maybe there's not a lot of interest. But the second thing is I really, really want this one to be exceptional. And that's a lot of self-applied pressure that makes for some pretty tortured storytelling. Which makes me more anxious, which makes it worse because I second guess and so on and on and on. So that's where I am with that. And why do I want this one to be exceptional? Because honestly, and I know a lot of you have been paying attention, or I'm getting the hint, maybe the last John Pilate book. However, my editor, Robert, who's so patient with me, and he gives me a lot of tough love, he has said it is not the last John Pilate book. It may be the last one for a long time while you go work on other things, but it is not the last one. He says, I won't let that happen. He says, it's too good a universe. And I've had some exceptional people touch base with this universe. A very dear friend of mine wrote some fanfic that is really good and fun. Another friend of mine and I have done a crossover to our two universes on his very esteemed series and mine. And there's some really tiny little fun crossover. And then there's people like my editor himself, who he has some ideas for some stories that might happen in the John Pilate universe. So I'm not going to make it, the final be all end all book, but I'm telling you, it's the last one for a long time. And I'm kind of excited about what's going on with Kindle Vella. I haven't blown Kindle Vella charts away with my first foray, the dystopian episodic fiction I'm doing on Kindle Vella right now called The Sign, but it's getting some reads and I'm having fun doing it. So there you go. But who knows, that could be an outlet for future John Pilate installments. I could do episodic stories featuring people in the John Pilate universe, and that's a very real possibility too. So thank you so much, you're saying, for your explanation, blah blah blah. When are we going to get the book? Okay, well, there's good news and there's bad news. The good news is this: thanks again to my aforementioned editor. Editor, we have cracked it. Now the manuscript is almost finished. We were having a problem with a couple of issues, and I'm not going to go into it here, but we've got it figured out. He's finishing up some notes and changes we've discussed, and this means that if you signed up for an advanced reader copy, like all dozen of you, which that made me feel so good, they'll be ready very soon. Probably will be in your hands in the next couple of weeks, assuming everything comes together. The bad news is we will not make our desired Halloween publishing date. I really wanted to drop this one on Halloween. It's my favorite holiday, and I thought that'd be fun, but it's just, there's no way. It'll now likely be towards Thanksgiving, the end of November, but plenty of time for that holiday shopping, I hope. So, and I apologize, but again, I want this one to be special, and please don't misunderstand. I work hard on every book and story, and they're all pretty good, in my humble opinion. I just want this one to be exceptional, and I think you'll love it. I really do. It's quirky, funny, sexy, mysterious, and fun. And I don't know. Maybe you won't like it. I don't know. I like it. How about this? I like this story. So I like it even more now that Robert and I figured out some things for it. But that said, we will have a title and cover reveal next month. The esteemed Jason C. McIntyre is yet again doing a cover. He's done all of the covers in the John Pilate Mystery Series. Well, he didn't do the initial first three. That was a different artist. But seeing that we needed to be more marketable, we brought Jason in to do those first three over, and then he's done the ensuing 4 books since, and then this next one, this 8th book, he'll be doing the cover for that one as well. Very excited, and we'll reveal the title as well. So stay tuned for news about that. And that's all I got for you on John Pilate, other than, instead of being mad at me, I hope you'll be excited if you're looking forward to this book to know that in your hot little hands, hopefully by around Thanksgiving or just after, you'll have it. And if you like it and you're one of my advanced readers, maybe you could, put a review up on Amazon when the time comes. That would be really helpful too. It'd be so wonderful if we could get a dozen reviews just to start. That would be so wonderful. We'll talk more about that. And I remember one thing. We're talking about Kindle Vella. I think I covered that. It's called The Sign. I'll try to remember to put a link in the show notes. If you could go do that, it's really easy. You can read the first 3 episodes free. And then after that, for just, a couple of bucks worth of coffee, like coffee money, you can buy tokens to pay for, the ensuing episodes after that. Right now, there's going to be about 10 episodes. Could be longer, but there'll be a natural break at 10. And it will cost you next to nothing to read the whole story. So I hope you'll get that. It's called The Sign. It's a dystopian thing. It's kind of a horror, dystopian, kind of last person on earth kind of deal. I know it's been done to death, but it's just my spin on that. But the one thing I was going to mention too, though, about giveaways. So 2 things. I might have mentioned this previously, but my grandfather's book, the one I worked on, the one I kind of pulled out of his files that had some pieces missing and fixed those and edited and put out along with some of his poems and letters and essays, Big Cabin and Dispatches from the West. So it got accepted to the Mid-Continent Public Library System. They purchased 3 copies to put in, different branches of the system. I'm very excited about that. That's here in Kansas City area. It's already in the Kansas City. No, I don't know if it's in Kansas City Library, but we'll see about that. But I'm very excited about that. But then I did a giveaway, and every now and then I'll give away ebooks just to gin up interest in the books. And especially for my grandpa's book, I'm not real worried about making tons of money. I just want people to read the damn thing. And we had almost 300 people sign up to get that ebook free from Amazon Kindle. So I can't tell you how excited I was. It went all the way to number 13 on the Western charts those couple of days when we gave away that many books. So that was a real treat. And, especially when I consider my grandpa had never lived to see what ebooks would be. He would have no concept of it. I bet he would be so tickled to know that, he rides again with that story. So I'm very excited about that. Okay, one other thing too. I know that some people have asked me, why don't we have a John Pilate Mysteries or J. Alexander Greenwood author website right now? Because I shut down pilatescross.com. It just wasn't working for me. I didn't care for it. Nobody was showing up there anyway. So I put the books for sale over on mgopod.com for this website, for this podcast. But I am looking into, not this year, but maybe next year, starting a J. Alexander Greenwood author page. And we'll start going from there. So stay tuned for that. And if you have any suggestions or thoughts on that, that'd be great. A couple other little housekeeping notes. I've got you. You know that the imprint that puts out our books, Caroline Street Press, also does other books, and they're going to be releasing another book by. We've had a previous book by Dr. Robert Lee Hill, and he's got a follow-up book to that coming out probably by November, and we'll keep you informed of that. But there will also be some news about Caroline Street Press towards the end of the year, and we had started changing a lot of our service offerings since early this year, and well, I'll let the cat out of the bag. We will likely stop accepting work with authors for a while. What we do is we help independent authors get their book through the publishing maze, and I'm not saying we're not going to accept things ever again, but we are going to take a hard look at the people who want us to work with them and make sure that it's a project we can work with. It's a very labor-intensive process to get a book ready to go through Amazon, and you're talking cover design, interior design, layout, formatting. Of course, don't even get into proofreading and editing and all that stuff. It's a lot of work, and most independent authors, frankly, can't afford to pay a whole lot. So it's a labor of love. It's something I've done. It'll be January. It'll be 10 years. Caroline Street Press has been in existence, but that too may be changing, and I'll tell you all about that at the end of the year or early next. So I've probably talked your ears off here, but I wanted to update you on what was going on and make sure I've thought of everything. Don't forget John Pilate Mysteries on Facebook, and that's facebook.com/john.pilate.mysteries. You can find that on Facebook, and there'll be updates there. I keep that updated. And of course, you can find me on Instagram at AlexGNKC, Alex, AlexGINKC. You can find me there. Love to follow you back if you're on Instagram. And I'm on the Twitter machine at _Greenwood. Not on it or Facebook, frankly, as much as I used to be, or Instagram. Trying to wean myself off of social media a little bit, but still we should keep in touch there, don't you think? Yeah, and I'm actually on TikTok and that kind of stuff too. But there's a certain point where a man in his 50s looks ridiculous being on TikTok, but it's a great place to market books. So that's why I'm on there. And we'll try and get those links out to you too if you're on TikTok. Love to have you there to like my stuff and share it, and I'll try to do the same for you. Okay, again, the big news, the John Pilate Mysteries next book, Book 8, can you believe it, will be out in November. But in October, we will have a cover reveal and a title reveal, obviously, because the title will be on the cover. And that way you'll know what the name is. And I'll give you a hint. It starts with the word pilots, as in possessive form, pilots, not Pilates, pilots. You've heard, of course, of Pilate's Cross, Pilate's Key, Pilate's Ghost, Pilate's Rose, Pilate's Blood, Pilate's Seven, Pilate's Shadow, and here we'll have Pilate's something. Pilate's question mark, that's what we have right here. And now, again, join the 1,400 or so people who like John Pilate Mysteries on Facebook and let us know what you think the title of the book will be. We will put a poll on that page. Again, that's John Pilate Mysteries on Facebook. Just search for it. There'll be a link in the show notes. Love to know what you think the title of the new John Pilate mystery will be. We'll probably put that up there pretty quick, and then we'll run that poll until we do the actual cover reveal. And if anybody guesses it, I won't reveal that you've guessed it until after we do the reveal. But then I will definitely send you an autographed reader copy because you guessed the title. How's that sound? Sound like fun? I think it sounds like fun. Again, join the 1,419 folks actually who follow John Pilate Mysteries on Facebook at facebook.com/John_Pilate_Mysteries, and look for the announcement about the cover reveal. But we'll put the poll at the top of the page, and we'll just ask you, what do you think? All right, well, this has been fun. Don't forget to check the show notes at mgopod.com for more information, and of course follow this show. It's free. And you can listen to lots of great, well, if I say so myself, great interviews with great writers. Okay, good interviews with great writers and creative folks around the world. So, okay, thanks so much for your time on this. And until next time, keep reading.